My daughter said, "Daddy's home," and ran to the front door. I was already sitting right next to her. We were on the couch watching cartoons, an ordinary Tuesday afternoon. Lily was curled against my side when something shifted in her. She sat up straight like she'd heard something I couldn't hear. "Daddy's home," she announced, and she was off the couch running toward the entryway. I felt my blood turn to ice. I was home. Had been here all afternoon, but my 3-year-old was running toward the front door announcing an arrival that couldn't be happening. I caught her halfway across the room, scooped her up with my heart hammering. Every horror story flooded my mind. Children seeing things adults couldn't. Something on the other side of my door that my daughter somehow knew was there. "Daddy's home," she said again, squirming. "Put me down. I want to see Daddy." She wasn't scared. She was excited. That almost made it worse. I walked toward the entryway and looked through the peephole, expecting something impossible. A version of myself. A stranger with my face. What I saw was a delivery driver holding a cardboard box. He looked bored. Normal. Just a delivery. Then I saw the label. The return address was a hospital. The sender section said, "Personal effects, William Chen." My father. The box contained my father's belongings. My father who died 3 weeks ago. Lily was still squirming. Still saying Daddy. I set her down and she pressed her face against the bottom of the door. "Pop, pop," she said, and everything clicked into place. My father came over every single day at 4 p.m. for 2 years. From the day Lily was born until 3 weeks ago, when his heart stopped. He'd retired early to be present for his granddaughter's childhood in ways he hadn't been for mine. Every day at 4 p.m., his car in the driveway, his knock, Lily running to greet him. She called him Pop Pop mostly, but 3-year-olds blend names. Sometimes he was Pop Pop, sometimes Grandpa, sometimes just Daddy, because that's what toddlers do with the men they love. I looked at the clock. 4:02 p.m., right on schedule. Her body had learned the pattern before her mind could understand what it meant. Every day for 2 years, 4 p.m. meant Pop Pop at the door. She'd heard something, maybe the delivery truck, maybe nothing. Just felt the familiar time arrive and ran, expecting the visit that stopped coming 3 weeks ago when my father died while I held his hand. I opened the door. The driver asked me to sign. Lily pushed past my legs, looked up at him with confusion. This wasn't Pop Pop. She looked around the porch like maybe he was hiding. She didn't understand death. We tried to explain, but 3 years old is too young to grasp forever. We said Pop Pop went to sleep and couldn't wake up. She nodded like she understood, but every afternoon at 4 p.m. she still looked at the door. I signed for the package and brought it inside. Lily trailed behind, her excitement fading. "Where's Pop Pop?" The question she'd asked every day for 3 weeks. I sat on the couch and she climbed into my lap, watching me open the box. His watch came out first, the one he'd worn every day of my childhood. His wallet, a paperback book, spine cracked, a receipt marking where he'd stopped reading and never started again. His glasses. Lily reached for the watch. She'd always loved it. Used to press her ear against it in his lap, listening to the ticking. "Pop Pops," she said softly. The first time in 3 weeks she'd said his name without looking at the door. She held that watch against her chest and went quiet in a way that felt bigger than her years. "Daddy's home," she'd said, and in a way, he was. Not him, but everything left of him. His belongings delivered at 4 p.m., right on schedule. The hospital didn't know they'd deliver them at the exact time my father arrived every day for 2 years. Didn't know a 3-year-old was still waiting for a knock that would never come. I thought there was something supernatural at my door. Turns out it was just grief, arriving on time. Just my daughter's body remembering what her mind couldn't accept. Lily wears the watch sometimes, comically large on her wrist, but she likes the weight, likes pressing it to her ear. She doesn't run to the door at 4 p.m. anymore. The pattern faded over weeks, but sometimes she still looks up at cars in the driveway. Still says Pop Pop in a voice that expects an answer. I tell her he's watching over us. She nods like she believes me. He was there every day at 4 p.m. for 2 years. His body stopped coming, but his presence never fully left. It's in the watch on Lily's wrist. In the 4 p.m. light that still feels different. In a little girl who said Daddy's home because love taught her to expect him, even after death tried to teach her otherwise. She wasn't seeing a ghost. She was just a child whose heart hadn't caught up to the truth yet. I'm 34, and mine hasn't either. Maybe that's what grief is. Waiting at the door for someone who isn't coming, long after you know they're gone.